Exposed, how a single moment at the airport revealed an amazing life-changing secret. Lisa glanced around the bustling terminal, a sea of hurried travelers who rushed past her. She felt like a ghost in this world, invisible and trapped in the overwhelming waves of chaos. Each day was a relentless battle, working double shifts at the diner to provide for her spirited daughter, Mia. She was exhausted, her heart weighted down by the reality of their modest life, while the more affluent rushed past, smartphones in hand, laughter echoing just out of reach. Did they even see her? Did they notice the weariness etched on her face as Lisa leaned against a cold, metallic pillar, feeling the ache in her back and the pressure building in her chest? Her eyes landed on an elderly man, hunched over but determined. Tom, as he introduced himself, adjusted his cap and fumbled with a heavy bag that looked like it had seen better days. When it slipped from his grasp and his wallet tumbled out, cash and old photographs spilled across the floor, a treasure trove of memories long forgotten. The beauty of it all struck Lisa. Each faded snapshot held whispers of lives lived, battles fought, stories untold. "Let me help you with that," she said, crouching down to gather the scattered remnants. Tom's eyes sparkled with gratitude as he spoke of his days in the service, the camaraderie, the brotherhood forged in the heat of battle. But it was his struggles after that really hit home. As he shared the painful truth of homelessness, Lisa could feel her heart aching not just for him, but for so many others like him who had sacrificed so much. Nearby travelers cast judgmental glances at Tom's disheveled appearance, whispering as if he were not there. Lisa felt a heat rising within her, and she could no longer stay silent. "What you see isn't the whole story," she fired back, her voice ringing with newfound intensity. "This man served our country. Do you even understand the weight of that? It's time to remind ourselves that every person has a journey. Every person deserves respect." The glares and murmurs stopped. The pause was palpable. She had stepped into the light, confronting biases she always felt but never voiced. In that single moment, something shifted. Her small act of defiance ignited a spark. Lisa realized she could be more than just a single mother juggling jobs. She could be a voice for those who felt unheard. Tom's story resonated with Lisa, and she found herself propelled into action. Encouraged by his strength, she reached out to local veterans organizations, sharing Tom's experiences. Before she knew it, they had set up a campaign to raise awareness, the stories spreading like wildfire across the internet. It felt exhilarating, empowering. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. Mia's laughter rang through Lisa's mind like a sweet melody as she typed furiously at her laptop. Every shared story connected them, not just as individuals, but as a community yearning for change. Her heart swelled with hope, but doubt tugged at the corners of her mind. Was this truly her moment of redemption? Or simply another uphill battle in a world that felt relentless? Just as she drafted the final lines of her next post, a message popped up on her screen. It was from Tom, and the unexpected truth he revealed could change everything. Lisa's breath hitched, anticipation brewing within her. What lay ahead could alter their course forever. Lisa's fingers hovered over the keyboard, heart racing as she opened Tom's message. Her eyes skimmed the words, each line pulling her deeper into the swirling emotions she had felt that day. He spoke of a hidden past, one that intertwined their lives in ways she could never have imagined. "My daughter, Sarah, is alive," he wrote, "and I haven't seen her in years." The words struck her like a punch. She reread the sentence, disbelief washing over her. Tom had a daughter? And after all these years apart, was there still a chance for them to reunite? Lisa felt a wave of empathy crash over her. The struggles she faced every day began to pale in comparison to Tom's fight for connection with his own flesh and blood. As the glow of the laptop illuminated her face, determination ignited within her. This wasn't just about raising awareness for homeless veterans anymore. It was about restoring a life torn apart by circumstances. "I can help you find her," she typed, her heart pounding as she pressed send. Immediately, a spark of hope flickered inside her. What about Mia? She thought fleetingly. If Tom's story could touch so many, imagine how it could affect her daughter. Imagine the lessons of resilience and love. Lisa envisioned her little girl, sitting on the floor coloring, the innocence of childhood still intact. Mia deserved to see the struggle and the triumph that came with never giving up. Moments passed, tension building as she awaited Tom's response. Was he even ready to take that leap? Could he trust her enough? The notification of a new message broke her from her thoughts. "You would do that for me?" His words were bare, filled with hope and perhaps a scrap of disbelief. "I'm scared. What if she doesn't want to see me?" Lisa understood that fear all too well. For years, she had carried the weight of unanswered questions about her own life. But she had faced her demons, made a decision to break free from anger and despair. "The only way to know is to try," she replied, her fingers dancing over the keys. "If there's a chance, you owe it to yourself to take it." As night fell, Lisa ventured into the unknown. With every click, she looked up resources and honed in on potential leads for Tom's daughter. The dim light from the laptop cast a cozy glow, working like a beacon of change in her small apartment. Suddenly, her phone buzzed with an alert. It was a local news station interested in the campaign she had started for Tom. They wanted her to discuss it on air. This was at a collision of destinies. Perhaps she could rally others to help Tom find his daughter, turn the spotlight on veterans, and let their voices soar together. What she didn't expect was the looming shadow of her past creeping in. An unexpected phone call from Mia's school sent her heart racing again. "Your daughter is in trouble." The principal's voice was flat, delivering news that dissolved the warmth of hope still lingering in the room. Lisa took a deep breath, dread filling her. What now? Could she juggle the campaign, help Tom, and be the mother Mia needed all at once? The door swung open, and Mia rushed in, her smile fading as she saw her mother's worried expression. "Mom? What's wrong?" The weight of that question settled heavily on Lisa's chest, every worry cascading like dominoes. Now, with Tom's journey ahead of her and Mia's troubles clouding the horizon, Lisa faced the crossroads of her life. She had to choose her next step wisely. Could she balance the weight of it all, or was something about to tip her into the abyss? Lisa forced a smile for Mia, trying to mask the turmoil swirling inside her. "It's nothing, sweetheart," she said, though her voice quivered. But Mia, with her big, perceptive eyes, wasn't convinced. "You're lying. What's really wrong?" She pressed, her hands now tightly gripping her backpack. Just then, her phone buzzed again. It was another message from Tom, but Lisa's heart sank at the thought of ignoring her daughter for a man she hardly knew. "Can we talk later, honey? I just need a minute." "Mom?" Mia's voice sliced through the tension. "You always say that when something big is happening. Please tell me." Lisa sighed. God, how she wished she could shield Mia from her worries, from the chaos overtaking her life. "Okay, I'll tell you. It's just I got a call from your school, and they said you're in trouble." Mia's eyes widened, confusion flickering across her face. "What do you mean?" "They said you weren't following the rules." Lisa's voice trailed off. There it was, the uninvited intruder of guilt creeping in again. "They want to discuss some incidents." Mia's brows furrowed in disbelief. "But it's just a misunderstanding." "I didn't mean to." Lisa held up her hand, feeling the weight of desperation. "I know, but we need to address it. Can you talk to me about what happened?" Mia swallowed hard, tears threatening to spill as she took a deep breath. "Some kids were picking on me, and I didn't know what to do. I just wanted them to leave me alone, Mom." Lisa felt her heart break a little. Her little girl was fighting battles she couldn't always see. Wrapping her arms around Mia, she whispered, "I'm so sorry. I wish I could protect you from all this. You know I love you, right?" Mia nodded, her small frame shaking against Lisa's. With a sudden bolt of inspiration, Lisa pulled back and looked into her daughter's eyes. You know what? You're brave for standing up for yourself. We can face this together. Mia sniffed, a flicker of hope returning. But what about your stuff? You have a big thing on TV. There will always be time for everything, baby. We're a team, remember? Mia nodded, feeling the warmth radiating from her mother's strength. Lisa took a deep breath, suddenly more resolute. This was a dance of multiple steps, and she was determined not to lose her footing. She had Tom's search and Mia's troubles, but she could manage. After all, resilience was a legacy she wanted to instill in her daughter. Before they could talk further, the phone buzzed again, jolting her thoughts. It was Tom, and the subject line read simply, "Please." Mia glanced at her mother, uncertainty in her eyes. "Are you okay? Just 1 second, okay?" She replied softly, just needing a moment to collect her thoughts. Lisa opened the message, and her breath caught in her throat at the words staring back at her. "There's more I need to tell you about Sarah. It changes everything." She felt a rush of panic. What could that possibly mean? Was Tom's daughter more than just a missing piece of his life? Did it intertwine with hers in ways she was still trying to understand? "Mom?" Mia's voice broke through her haze again, drawing her back to the present. "What is wrong?" Lisa shut her eyes for a moment, steadying herself. "Nothing we can't handle together." But deep inside, that nagging fear whispered, what if they couldn't handle it at all? As she glanced at Tom's message again, dread pooled in her stomach. Together. They had to be together through this storm. But who would navigate it if they were caught in their own whirlwinds? And right then, Lisa knew she had to face the truth, whatever it might be. It was time to take a step forward, and whatever awaited her and Mia, they would face it together. Tomorrow would be the day everything changed, but would it be for better or worse? The next morning came too quickly, the sun peeking through the curtains as Lisa wrestled with the clutter of her thoughts. She felt drained, yet a new resolve hummed beneath the surface. Today was the day she would confront both Tom and the school, determined to unravel the loose threads threatening to pull them apart. Mia had readied herself with quiet resilience, slipping on her favorite sneakers as if they were armor. She turned to Lisa, her eyes shining with a blend of anxiety and determination. "Are we really gonna make this right, Mom?" Lisa knelt down to Mia's level, brushing a stray hair from her face. "Absolutely, sweetie. We're going to tackle this together. Just like we always do." The confidence in her own voice surprised her, but she needed to project strength. After a quick breakfast and a flurry of whispered reassurances, they headed out. The air outside felt charged, like a storm just waiting to break. Lisa's phone buzzed again. She pushed Tom's messages to the back of her mind, but this time she couldn't ignore the impulse to check. She opened the text. It simply stated, "Please meet me at the coffee shop. We need to talk." Glancing at Mia, Lisa contemplated whether to engage with Tom before the school meeting. Mia deserved her full attention today, but Tom's message felt urgent. "Mia, honey, I just got a message from Tom. He wants to talk." Her daughter paused, her expression hardening slightly. "Do you really think he's worth it? He seems more like a distraction than a help." A pang of guilt hit Lisa. Was she putting Tom's needs ahead of her child's? "No, you're right. It's just that Mia cut her off, her tone softening. "It's okay, Mom. Just keep me in the loop, okay? I need to know you're not getting lost in this chaos." Lisa hugged her daughter, taking a moment to breathe in her comforting scent of fresh shampoo. "Of course, baby girl. Let us focus on you and what's really important." As they arrived at the school, anxiety washed over Lisa once more. The red brick building loomed before them, familiar yet intimidating. The two entered hand in hand, the sound of their footsteps echoing in the hallway like a heartbeat. They exchanged glances, a silent exchange of strength. They paused outside the principal's office, where a sign on the door read, "Welcome." Suddenly, Lisa's phone buzzed again, this time an unknown number. Hesitantly, she clicked on it without checking, ready to block it if necessary. "I have information about Sarah. Please call me back." Her heart raced. Who is this person? How did they know about Sarah? And why did the urgency in the message feel so connected to Tom? She turned the phone off, stuffing it back in her pocket. She needed to put her focus on Mia right now. The principal called them in, and Lisa braced herself. There was no turning back, no dodging the responsibility of this moment or the challenges ahead. She sat down, holding Mia's hand tightly. "Thank you for coming," the principal began. "We need to discuss some serious matters concerning Mia." As they settled into the discussion, Lisa's resolve sharpened. No matter what happened next, they were facing this fortress of issues together. Together, they would decode the messages their lives were sending them. But as the principal's words unfolded, Lisa felt a strange twist in her gut, a premonition that everything was about to shift. What awaited them in that office? Would they only scrape the surface, or would they uncover deeper connections that would ultimately change everything? The door behind them creaked slightly, and a new presence loomed just outside. Curiosity gnawed at her. Could this day hold the key to their future? Lisa knew she had to be ready for anything. The principal's voice filtered through a haze of Lisa's racing thoughts. Terms like bullying, behavioral issues, and academic performance mixed together, creating a cacophony that drowned out the urgency of each word. She nodded, trying to keep focus, but her mind spiraled back to that text about Sarah. This was supposed to be about Mia, yet that message simmered on the edges of her consciousness, begging for attention. Mia squeezed her hand tighter, a silent request for reassurance. Lisa turned to her daughter, trying to muster a comforting smile amid the chaos. "You're doing great, sweetheart," she whispered, though she felt anything but sure herself. The principal continued, "Mia has been facing some challenges." Lisa's heart dropped. Challenges? The word felt loaded, heavy like an anchor pulling her down. "Some students are not being kind to her," the principal said gently. "We've received reports, and while I want you to know we take this very seriously, it's crucial that we address it head-on." Lisa's chest tightened. What exactly is happening? The urgency in her voice startled her. The thought of Mia being hurt drove a spike of anxiety through her. The principal leaned back, intertwining her fingers. "There have been instances of exclusion and name-calling. It's something we need to stop immediately." Mia's eyes flared with emotion. Lisa quickly shifted her gaze back to the principal. "We can't let this continue. Not for one more day." The principal nodded slowly, her expression serious. "I assure you, we will take action. But I need your help as well. We may need to speak with the other parents involved. It's vital that we approach this delicately, to not escalate the situation further." Lisa felt a surge of fortitude. "Whatever it takes, I'm in. Mia deserves to feel safe in school." Mia's small voice disrupted the tension. "Mom, can I say something?" Lisa paused, startled. "Of course, honey." Mia took a breath, her eyes darting between Lisa and the principal. "I just want everyone to be nice. I don't want to be the reason we have a big confrontation. It makes me scared." That admission hit Lisa like a stone. Her daughter's vulnerability was unbearable to witness. But the principal interjected, "Mia, your feelings are valid. It's important to stand up for yourself and others. We're here to support you." Before Mia could respond, another sound sliced through the moment. The door creaked once more, and a faint figure leaned against the frame. Lisa turned to see the silhouette of someone she recognized all too well. Tom, with concern etched on his face, stood just outside the office. What is he doing here? She thought, frustration bubbling inside her. Did he know she was here, battling these very demons with Mia? "Mia, sweetheart, could you step out for a moment?" The principal's voice broke the tension, indicating that they needed to discuss Tom along with her daughter's situation. Lisa opened her mouth to protest, to argue that Mia should stay, but a look from the principal silenced her. Maybe they needed to talk openly about Tom without her presence. Mia hesitated before leaving, casting a lingering gaze back at Lisa as if to say, "I'll be okay." But who would be there for her in Mia's absence? As the door closed behind Mia, the tension in the room thickened. Lisa's heart raced again, feeling the weight of the conversation that was about to unfold. "What are you doing here, Tom?" she demanded, her voice steady but laced with a current of anxiety. Tom stepped into the office, his eyes darting to the principal before landing on Lisa. "I got your text. His admission felt like a puzzle piece clicking into place, but she wasn't ready for this conversation, not now. Didn't he understand that her focus needed to be on Mia? Tom, this isn't the time, she snapped, trying to keep the frustration from spilling over. But deep down, beneath layers of annoyance, there was something else. Worry about Sarah. Curiosity about the text. With the heaviness of the moment hanging in the air, Lisa knew one thing for sure: the truth behind Sarah's situation and perhaps even Tom's intentions had finally arrived, but would she be able to unearth the secrets in time to protect Mia? The stakes were rising, and Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of an unraveling that could change everything. What lay beyond those closed doors? Lisa's instincts kicked in as she shifted her focus to Tom. The lingering silence felt heavy, dense like fog rolling in, casting shadows over her thoughts. What do you want, Tom? Is this about Sarah? He hesitated, glancing at the principal, her presence a reminder that they were not alone in this moment. It's complicated, Lisa. His eyes dropped to the floor for just a moment before he forged on. I didn't want you to find out like this. Find out what exactly? Lisa's impatience flared. She was done with riddles. You drop a bomb like that, and then what? You just expect me to sit here waiting for an explanation? The principal cleared her throat, but Lisa ignored her, fixating on Tom. His face was a canvas of conflict, and she hated that he could still unsettle her heart. Memories of their shared laughter and warm evenings filled her mind. But that was before everything changed and before Sarah slipped through the cracks. Sarah's in trouble, and I thought you should know, Tom finally said, his voice tinged with desperation. She might need your help. I thought maybe together we could together? The word fell from her lips like a curse. You haven't been around. You don't get to come back into our lives and pull this together nonsense. Anger pulsed through her, but beneath it all was a whirlpool of fear. What kind of trouble was Sarah in? Tom flinched at her words. I know I haven't been there. I messed up, okay? But I wouldn't be here if I didn't think this was important. Sarah's been dealing with things I didn't know about, and now she's in a dark place. Dark place. Those words sent a chill down Lisa's spine. She could visualize her daughter's friend, usually so bubbly and full of life, drowning in an unseen storm. What are you talking about, Tom? I found her at the park last week, he began, his voice dropping as though he were confessing a crime. She was upset, crying. It took her a while to say anything, and when she did, it was about feeling alone, about being bullied. Lisa's heart twisted. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I was trying to figure it out myself, he snapped, emotion finally breaking through. I was worried about how to approach you. I never wanted to hurt you again, Lisa. The principal stepped forward, sensing the escalating tension. Everyone deserves a chance to heal. We need to approach this as a team, both for Mia and Sarah. The word team fell flat in the air between them. Lisa felt more like a soldier than a mother, her heart heavy with the weight of every unresolved issue floating around. So, what do we do now? Lisa asked, her voice softer but trembling under the recognition of how much was at stake. Let us meet with Sarah's parents, Tom suggested, a flicker of hope in his eyes. We can all talk this out. Make a plan together to help them. But what if they don't want to work with you? Lisa shot back, skepticism creeping in. You've left us in the dark. What if they see you as part of the problem? Then we show them we want to be part of the solution. Before Lisa could respond, the door opened, and Mia returned, her small frame filled with anxious energy. The concern in her eyes turned alert, as if sensing the tension that had simmered in the room. What is happening? Lisa knelt down, looking into Mia's eyes, searching for the right words. This conversation would impact her more than any other. We're trying to help Sarah, sweetie. It's going to be all right. We'll figure this out together. Mia's brow furrowed, and Lisa could see the worry creeping back in. What if Sarah doesn't want help? What if she thinks we won't understand? Lisa's heart sank. Mia's innocence echoed the fear Lisa herself was feeling. Then we show her she's not alone. No matter what. But as Tom glanced at Mia, Lisa saw uncertainty in his eyes. Would he truly be there to help them? The tension in the room still hung, but there was a glimmer of action now. What moves they would make next felt like stepping onto a shaky bridge. Would they reach the other side, or would it all collapse underfoot as the three of them stood there together? The door to the future swung open, revealing endless possibilities. Yet, lurking in those possibilities were darker shadows. A question remained. Could they truly confront the ghosts of their pasts and forge a path forward, or would they falter? Lisa took a breath, feeling the weight of every decision pressing on her chest. She had to choose wisely. Their next steps could either illuminate the fear holding them captive or plunge them into even deeper darkness. The stakes were higher than ever, and Lisa wondered, was she ready for the truth that lay waiting just beyond that horizon? The air felt charged with a quiet urgency. Lisa straightened, pushing back against the whirlwind of emotions inside her. "We need a plan, Tom," she said, her voice steady but laced with apprehension. "We can't just sit here talking about it. We have to act." Tom nodded, determination flickering across his face. "Right. I'll talk to Sarah's parents tonight. I'll try to meet them at the diner. It's a good neutral place." He glanced around, as if weighing the importance of being discreet amid the tension in the room. "I hope they'll be open to it." Lisa looked at Mia, who was now playing nervously with her fingers. "How do you feel about all this, sweetheart?" Mia's response would lay the groundwork for everything from here on out. "It feels kinda scary," Mia admitted, her voice small. "What if they get mad? Or what if Sarah doesn't want to talk?" The unknown loomed over them like a dark cloud, heavy and unyielding. "It's okay to be scared," Lisa reassured her. "But this is about Sarah. We have to be brave for her. She needs to know we're on her side." Mia nodded slowly, her eyes darting between Lisa and Tom, searching for certainty. "Will you be there too, Mom?" "Of course," Lisa replied, her heart tightening at the thought of her daughter facing this ordeal. "We'll face this together." The principal cleared her throat again, stepping forward with purpose. "I think it's important that you all stay in close contact. Continuity will be key." Her tone was professional, but imbued with the understanding that the emotional stakes were exceptionally high. "Right. I'll call you both after I meet with them," Tom said, trying to project confidence. It was like watching a flickering flame trying to catch wind. Lisa wanted to believe it would ignite into something powerful. "Text or call us the moment you know something," Lisa urged with a small rise of desperation. "Don't keep us in the dark anymore." He agreed, and just like that, Tom stood up, tension radiating off him like static electricity as he moved toward the door. "I'll do my best," he promised, and with a look shared between all three, filled with uncertainty yet flickers of hope, he stepped out. The door clicked shut behind him, leaving an echoing silence in the room. "Mom?" Mia broke the stillness, looking up at her with wide eyes. "What's going to happen to Sarah?" Lisa knelt, wanting to shield her daughter from the weight of the world, yet knowing she couldn't hide the truth. "I don't know, honey. But we'll do everything we can to help her. We'll be her safety net." Mia's lip quivered, and for a fleeting moment, Lisa wished she could take her child's anxieties away, as if blowing bubbles might just lift the worries from their hearts. "Can we really help her?" Mia asked, hope battling with doubt. "We can try," Lisa replied, wrapping her arms around Mia. The warmth of that hug felt small compared to the largeness of the challenge ahead. "And trying is what matters. We have to believe she's worth it." Mia hugged her back, clinging tightly, and Lisa inhaled the familiar scent of her daughter's shampoo, grounding herself in that small, tender moment. But as comforting as it felt, a nagging worry flickered in the back of her mind. What if their efforts weren't enough? What if Sarah's pain was deeper than they could fathom? The uncertainty gnawed at Lisa's thoughts, merging with fear that gripped her. Could they navigate the tangled web of emotions, past missteps, pain, and ultimately find a way to Sarah? Just then, her phone buzzed, jolting her back to reality. It was a text from Tom. "Need to talk. It's about Sarah." Panic surged within her. What more could he possibly have to say? As Lisa's heart raced, she thought, if only she could prepare herself for whatever awaited on that screen. Would it be the glow of hope or another shade of despair? One moment could change everything. And as Lisa glanced at Mia, holding her breath in the expectation of a looming storm, she knew deep down the next step could either lead them to salvation or tear them apart. Lisa's hand trembled as she opened Tom's message. The world around her faded, the hum of the refrigerator and the distant sound of traffic becoming mere whispers against her racing heartbeat. She held the phone tight, her breath hitching. What news could he have that sent such a surge of urgency? Mom? Mia's little voice broke through her concentration, pulling her back from the edge of her thoughts. What did Tom say? Lisa glanced at her daughter, at the worry etched on Mia's face. I don't know yet, sweetie. I just need a minute. Mia nodded, curling into herself a bit more. Lisa felt the familiar ache in her heart. It was a mom's job to shield her child from fear, yet here they were, faced with an invisible threat no amount of love could fully dispel. Taking a deep breath, she texted Tom back quickly. What happened? Is everything okay? Moments ticked by like hours. She could feel the anxiety settling in, like a storm cloud overhead waiting to release its fury. Can you come to the diner? Tom replied, his words blunt but heavy with implication. We need to talk in person. Okay, she wrote back, her fingers flicking nervously over the screen. She glanced at Mia, who still looked small and lost. We're going to the diner to meet Tom, okay? About Sarah? Mia's eyes widened, as if the very idea could bring a glimmer of hope or just more sadness. Yes, but we'll take it one step at a time, Lisa replied, forcing a smile to stay afloat in this sea of uncertainty. Her heart was a war zone of hope and fear, battling incessantly. On the drive, Lisa kept checking the rearview mirror, expecting the world outside to spill secrets about Sarah, answers that remained frustratingly out of reach. The diner felt like a lifeline tossed into a raging ocean, and it loomed larger as they approached. Flashing neon lights struggled against the evening twilight, beckoning them inside. As they entered, the smoky scent of grilled burgers and fried potatoes wrapped around them. Tom was seated in a booth near the back, his face tense and drawn. Lisa felt her stomach clench. His expression told her all she needed to know. Hey, she said softly as they slid into the booth, Mia instinctively leaning against her. Thanks for coming, Tom replied, his voice steady but laced with a tremor. He was holding a cup of coffee tightly in his hand, his knuckles white against the porcelain. What is going on? Lisa asked, her heart racing again. She could feel Mia's small hand gripping her thigh. Tom looked at both of them, and, for a moment, she could see the weight of the world pressing down on him. I met with Sarah's parents. They're scared, just like us. They don't know how to get through to her. He exhaled sharply, like he was releasing a breath he'd held too long. Mia, honey, why don't you go get some ice cream from the counter? Lisa suggested, trying to shield her girl from the brunt of the conversation. She knew this was heavy. Okay, Mia replied hesitantly, her eyes darting between her mom and Tom. But I'll be right back. As the girl slipped away, the invisible weight of the moment pressed down further, making the already crowded diner feel even smaller. Lisa, Tom began, but hesitated. They told me something about Sarah. Something that it changes everything. The way Tom's blue eyes bore into hers made her breath hitch again. Lisa pressed her lips together, fear coursing through her veins. What do you mean? It's about Sarah's situation, he said slowly, his voice barely above a whisper, the tone thick with gravity. She's not just struggling, she's in serious trouble, far beyond what we thought. Another pulse of fear shot through her. What could be worse than what they already faced? Just then, Mia returned, her ice cream in hand, a welcome distraction from the seriousness that hung in the air. But the innocence on her face felt bittersweet, and Lisa braced herself. Whatever was coming next would unravel everything they believed was true. As she prepared to gather her thoughts, wondering if they would finally find a way to help Sarah, Lisa couldn't shake the feeling that the storm had only just begun. What if everything they thought they understood was about to be turned upside down? The diner buzzed around them, but all Lisa could hear was the echo of Tom's words, forming a dark, looming cloud of uncertainty. What truth awaited them beyond the ice cream and chatter of everyday life? Lisa could almost sense the air shifting around them as she tried to suppress the anxiety creeping up her spine. Mia was digging into her ice cream, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing just a few feet away. With every lick of her cone, The vibrant sprinkles seemed to mock the tension at the table. "Tom, just tell me," she urged, the desperation in her voice wrapping around both of them. He hesitated, weighing his words like heavy stones. "The truth is, Sarah is she's mixed up with some bad people. I don't want to scare you, but she might be involved in something dangerous." An icicle of fear pierced through Lisa at his words. She felt a suffocating wave of dread. "What do you mean, dangerous? Are we talking about drugs? Gangs?" Tom swallowed hard, unable to meet her gaze. "Yes. It seems she's been hanging out with this group, and they're not the kind you want in your life. They've already gotten her into trouble, serious trouble." Her mind spiraled. She couldn't believe what she was hearing. But she seemed fine. I mean, yes, she was struggling, but how could this happen so quickly? "Sometimes they hide it well, Lisa. They put on a brave face while the world inside them is falling apart." Tom's voice softened, almost compassionate, and she could see the longing in his eyes to help Sarah as much as she did. As Lisa processed each word, Mia's laughter floated like a distant echo in the background, highlighting the stark contrast between childhood innocence and the harsh realities of life hovering just out of reach. "What are we going to do?" She felt the weight of every mother's worst fear resting on her shoulders. Tom finally met her eyes, and the raw concern etched on his face made her stomach drop. "We need to act fast. Sarah is slipping deeper into their world every day. We have to talk to her, but she might not want to hear us. We need a plan." A pulse of determination beat within Lisa. "I can't just let her drown." "I want to." "Then we fight for her," he replied. It was a promise laced with urgency, igniting a fire inside her that she thought had all but extinguished. Mia tugged at Lisa's sleeve, ice cream smeared across her cheek, snapping her back to the present. "Mom, can I have sprinkles next time?" Lisa couldn't help but smile, even in the midst of chaos. "Of course, sweetie." She brushed Mia's hair back, feeling the normalcy of their little routine anchor her in that moment. In the periphery, the diner buzzed on, seemingly oblivious to the turmoil unraveling just a booth away. But for Lisa, the clamor faded to a dull hum as her thoughts spiraled in a different direction. "Tom," Lisa said, her voice steadying. "We need to talk to her parents. They have to understand what's happening too. Maybe together we can pull her back." His expression darkened slightly, worry etched across his forehead. "But what if they don't believe us? What if they're part of the problem?" Lisa's chest ached with the thought. "We won't know unless we try. We simply can't stand by and watch." Tom nodded, but there was a hesitation that lingered, a fear of what they might unearth. "We're in this together. No matter how deep we have to dig." Just then, there was a commotion at the diner door. The bell chimed loudly, drawing Lisa's attention. A group of young people walked in, their laughter sharp and jarring, their presence radiating an almost scary confidence. As they approached, recognition struck like lightning. "Oh no, not them," Lisa whispered, her heart racing. "What?" Tom followed her gaze, eyes widening in recognition. The atmosphere changed. Danger practically vibrated off of them. They roamed the diner, their eyes searching, their presence a stark reminder of the threat lurking in the shadows. "Are they?" "Yes." Lisa's stomach twisted as she felt the weight of the truth settle like a stone in her belly. Would they confront Sarah about these people? Could they even save her from them? Watching the scene unfold, Lisa knew she was faced with a critical crossroads. How far was she willing to go to bring her daughter back? In that moment, she realized she had stepped into something far more complicated than she had first thought. The stakes were higher now, and the shadows of danger loomed larger. "Tom," she said, her voice cutting through the tension. "We have to do something. Now." But as the group made their way toward their booth, leaving them trapped in a corner, Lisa felt that familiar tremor of dread clawing up her throat again. What would happen next? Would they find a way to reach Sarah before it was too late? The diner's buzzing chatter faded into white noise as Lisa watched the group approach their table. The three of them were a tight-knit circle of vibrant youth, confidence oozing from their every calculated move. The laughter and calling among them cut through the air, and Lisa's heart sank as she recognized the expressions that flickered on their faces: mischief, arrogance, indifference. "What do we do?" she breathed, urgency coating her words. "Stay calm," Tom replied, eyes scanning the group. "We need to keep our composure." But the nerves inside Lisa danced chaotically. They were standing at the edge of a precipice, peering down into a cavern of uncertainty. Would Sarah be drawn to them, or had she already fallen into their grasp? "Mia, honey," she called softly, breaking her steely gaze away from the group. "Why don't you go back to the counter and get some napkins?" "But I'm not done," her daughter protested, confusion knitting her brow. "I'll be right here," Lisa assured her, making sure Mia felt her every word. "Just go. Please." With visible reluctance, Mia nodded. As she hurried off, Lisa felt the bittersweet pang of motherhood. Protecting her child while facing an invisible threat was a balancing act more precarious than any she had undertaken. "Lisa," Tom spoke, pulling her back to the present. "We can't let them near Sarah. We need some way to draw her away." Lisa's heart raced as she watched Sarah's face slide into view between the clustered bodies of her supposed friends. The smile on that familiar face was blurred by shadows. "Tom," she whispered, "look at her, it's worse than I thought," he said solemnly, his voice laced with urgency. "We need to intervene." As the group settled a few booths away, Lisa dug her nails into her palms, her thoughts spiraling. Could they just approach Sarah? The stakes had never felt so high, and yet there was no time for retreat. Lisa needed to fight for her daughter and for Sarah with everything she had. Then it happened. The familiar sweetness of Mia's laughter broke through the air as she returned with napkins in hand. The moment felt fragile and electric, balancing between hope and dread. Desperation coursed through Lisa as she weighed the fragile threads of their plan. Would it bring light or despair? "Mia," she said, swallowing hard. "You know how brave you are, right?" "Of course, Mom," Mia replied, her innocent blue eyes shining with trust. "What if Sarah needs us to show that same bravery?" The simple question hung heavy. What if we face what's going on together? Mia's brow furrowed in thought. But what if she doesn't want our help? "Then we show her that we care, no matter what," Lisa said fiercely, feeling a swell of courage rise within her. "And if things get too heavy, remember, we'll get through it together." Mia clenched onto the napkins, understanding blooming in her eyes. "I want to help. We can't let her be alone." Just as Lisa felt the certainty of their mission solidifying, she sensed an interruption, an unexpected turn of events. Tom flicked his eyes at the group again, his expression tight with anxiety. "Here we go," he muttered, his body instinctively leaning forward, tightening like a coiled spring. The group had caught sight of them, those sharp eyes assessing their presence. Lisa's breath caught in her throat as the leader of the group made his way over, a smirk plastered on his face like armor. "Tommy boy," he called, the mockery evident in his tone. "Got some new friends, huh? Little girl there looks lost. You know what happens to people who get lost, right?" Lisa felt a wave of anger crash over her, sparking her like kindling. "Leave her out of this," she snapped, fire pooling in her veins. "Whoa, whoa," he laughed, the sound grating and unsettling. "Just trying to keep things friendly." Sarah looked around nervously, clearly caught in the conflict spinning out like a web around her. "Get out of here, Jeremy," Tom shouted, anger bursting through him, a wall protecting Lisa and Mia from the escalating chaos coming off Jeremy.to Lisa's relief. Mia took a determined step. "Sarah," she called, her small voice breaking through the tension. "We're here for you." The group paused, confusion dancing in the air. "She's with you?" Jeremy's smirk faltered, a hint of surprise flickering across his face. "Yeah," Mia yelled, her heart pounding but fierce. "Please, just listen to us." Lisa felt an overwhelming swell of pride wash over her at her daughter's bravery. It was a moment to lock into memory, frozen in time against all obstacles. "Simon, Sarah, you don't want to be on their side," Lisa said, her voice steady, hoping to light a spark in Sarah's heart. As the weight of uncertainty hung in their midst, Lisa took a breath, feeling hope flickering alongside the chaos. With their voices united, they could create a pathway back to light. "Sarah, don't you want to come talk with us?" she called, her heart pulsing with unyielding hope. The impact of her words seemed to simmer, drawing the attention of the group. A moment hung suspended in time where Sarah hesitated, torn between the shadows and the outstretched hands of support. Squaring her shoulders, Lisa stepped forward, bolstered by a fierce determination. "You can choose to step back into the light, Sarah. No matter what, we're here for you." And then, something shifted. An unseen connection threaded through the air, binding them together in resilience. Sarah's facade cracked, the strength of Lisa's voice cutting through the darkness. As the moments lingered, a tangible pulse of shared hope emanated from that small booth in the diner. Growing warmer, it was more than just a plea for help. It was a call to bravery, a reminder that together they could forge a way back to safety. Lisa felt the atmosphere change, the siren call of possibilities swirling around. They could rise against the shadows if only they held hands, if only they believed. The door to a new chapter lay wide open. Would they have the courage to step through? The answer fractured time, allowing a chance at healing, because this was the moment they'd been waiting for. "Sarah," Lisa urged again, her heart racing, "please choose us. Choose light, choose love." As the girl weighed her options, shifting her eyes to the laughter fading in the distance, hope fluttered anew inside Lisa. Together, they would weather this storm. It was, at long last, a moment of transformation, a moment where fear could give way to love. Lisa squeezed Mia's hand, not letting go as they all stood on the precipice of change, determined to embrace whatever came next. Now was the time for courage to bloom, and every heart in that diner could feel it. Because hope had finally found its voice, and that voice was stronger than any shadow that dared to loom. It was time. Lisa could feel it.